Hello guys, welcome back to D&D Style, and today we are continuing Wizard's Choice. So far I came back and I clicked the continue volume study status, or that button that was on the bottom. I never pressed it when I ended it, and I did when I got back. Glad I did, because it gave me this completed Wizard's Choice achievement, and as you see I got plus 10 points, 6 coins, and 2 luck, so that means 2 more deaths I can get. Alright. You have achieved 11% of the points possible in the Wizard Choice series. Feedback so far, at least you have done something. However, the software is unimpressed. Well played. In only a few hours, tales of your deeds have spread throughout Ring City. Your total score is 810, earning you the reputation of wealthy and cunning adventurer. Well, at least I'm cunning. Not really. Letter to Coin Slayer of Evil. Are you serious? So I could have got a better score if I didn't die, but since I died, I'm sure that's why it gave me that score. And yep, 1 death. That was the reason. I would have got a better score if I didn't die. More, I was 9 gold, 240. Yeah, no. If I would have never died, I would have got that. Multiplier. Ooh, actually no. It just doesn't even matter. New high score. Hey, you survived nice interaction. Fiction readers, you are awesome. Play next chapter. I guess we're unlocking it. Look at that, guys. We got Wizard Choice 2. Let's get it. Hopefully I get 22 gold. This has only got, I don't know. Hopefully we get more. Recap from the last volume. You and your longtime warrior friend Ragnoid have recently returned to Ring City to rest and celebrate after a successful raid on the ruined castle in Inverness. During your adventures, you rescue a young merchant's daughter by the name of Klyba, who has been kidnapped by a band of evil priests. Once inside, you rest, applying healing ointment to your wounds, and hide the majority of your loot under the floorboard of your loft. By the following evening, you are refreshed and feel stronger and more powerful than ever. You toss a handful of your gold coins into your money pouch and meet up with Kaiba and Ragnar at the Luring Virgin Inn for some much deserved celebration. The three of you feast and drink and tell stories, exaggerated of course. In the end, regulars and otherwise thoroughly enjoy themselves. There is no justice, there is no law, there is only power. You quote from the first page of the book, Bond in Human Skin. You lifted from the sacrificial altar in Inverna's castle. Sounds just like what a zombie rising no good Gorgon's Oss would write, Ragnar says with slurred speech. The three of you are alone at a table in a corner of the inn, as all the other patrons have, having grown bored of your boasting and tall tales, have gone to bed. You pace through the book. What's this? You exclaim. This speaks of the Baroness Arlen lying with Sir Rumford of Chesterfield. You will gossip no more, Cliva says, and then takes a swig of wine. Well, the account seems rather detailed. Your voice trails off as you read further. An old guildmaster, France Fortuna, has been skimming gold from the mints, melting the coins down and recasting them with more copper. Aha, I thought the coins from the money changer were light. Ian's ramming in his pocket. What is that? A book of dirty secrets, I asked, pointing at the book accusingly. Why I'd rather think it is why this silly little book might be worth more than the rest of our loot put together, you say. The curious Albert glassy-eyed expression on your friend's face is the last thing you see as you black out. Suddenly you're standing over a bed, shouting, "No, Ragnar, no!" as you push down on Ragnar's neck, attempting to stem the flow of blood. It is no use. He is deadly still on the blood-soaked bed, and not gonna lie, I expected Ragnar to be like some really bulky guy, not this guy. Like, look at him. He looks so skinny. We're talking about some guy who wears armor. That's what I would expect to look like. Gods no, you shout and run out of the room. You are now in what you recognize as a hallway of Leering Virgin Inn. You shout for help and look back. From here you can see bloody fingerprints on the wall around Ragnar, ruins and infernal that appeared to be Some sort of spell used to harvest power from a soul. There are footsteps from behind, and you turn to see a city guard and an old man approaching. Seize that one. The old man croaks as he points at you. He is the murderer. Me? I, I could never. You sputter. The old man speaks with conviction. Conviction. Either he believes what he says or he is an excellent liar. To top it off, there you stand with blood on your hands. This does not look good, you think. The guard locks his eye on you. What do you do? Well, oh man, I can't believe I'm not saying anything. I'm thinking about like charming the guard, but like I'm also thinking about defending your innocence. I mean, but we obviously know that I did it. Like there's no doubt about it. So there's no defending it. Running, I don't think there's anywhere to run after that because I'm sure most ends only have one way in and one way out in the sleep halls where you go to sleep in. So I'm gonna charm the guard. Man, discreet guys knows I am innocent. You say as you have a hand at the guard. You feel a warm tingling travel up your arm and out the end of your outstretched hand. The guard smiles broadly at the spell, takes hold of his mind. It is well to see an old friend, he exclaims. The guard rushes up and clasps you in. He is a murderer, the old man cries. Silence, you are mistaken, the guard calls back. The old man grabs the guard's sleeve and points to the open door. Destiny's head. The guards shout, what devils have done this? That one, you embrace the devil now, the old man shrieks. I saw this with my own eye. The guards is brushing clouds for a moment, and then he shakes his head. I deceived you. He says to the old man. He then looks at you. My good friend, find help. I will search nearby for the villain. It is uncertain how long your charm spell will last, and so you rush down the stairs and out the front door. When you are some distance from the inn, you stop to rest. What did that old fool see? You wonder to yourself. He did not see me. I would sooner cut out my tongue than murder your friend. But the man was so sincere. Could I have been bewitched, or perhaps an illusion on me was cast? You realize that for the moment it does not matter. Your charm spell will wear off soon enough, and then you will be the primary suspect, perhaps the only suspect. Medieval justice is swift and usually not well thought out. If caught, you could very well be dancing at the end of a rope by breakfast. Yep, that's why I didn't choose it. The general alarm has not been sounded. You might be able to escape the city if you run for the outer wall gate now. But what then? You know the city far better than anyone else, and running would only implicate. Could I turn myself? I mean, run for the gate. That would be the rest of the story of me running away from the guards as a wizard. But I really need to talk to that old man, if anything. But I don't like. I would have to get him by myself. Um, Maybe if we disguise ourselves, we could go to him. Like low key, I really want to, cause like we can use illusion magic, right? Disguise yourself. I would not leave the city until I have found Ragnar's murderer, and to hide in a city, one must find in plain sight. You think to yourself. You know a simple illusion that Yup. You know a simple illusion that can make use to make you appear someone else. On the other hand, there is a bazaar nearby, a bazaar, bazaar nearby with clothing stalls. For a little gold, you can buy a cloak or something else to conceal you on this rainy day. You trot down a quiet alley and wash Ragnar's blood off your hand and arms in a dark rain puddle. You pull out the hand mirror you found in Castle in Venus and study yourself as you cast the illusion. Taking time to get it right, you were a 19-year-old man with brown, unruly hair. Now you're middle aged with a graying beard. The stains on your tunic are covered up with the illusion of a peasant's long sleeved tunic. This disguise is great, but your illusions do not last long. You decide you need to buy a more permanent disguise. Fortunately, your temporary one allows you to browse the tailor's stall without any worry of being recognized. Quickly, you find a weaver's stall. You know this merchant, although you doubt grumbly, shiftily knows you. One gold piece for the black one, you say in a disgusted, raspy voice as you point to a large black coat. Sh- Schiffel nods cheerlessly as he hands over the cloak. Although grumpy, he has a reputation as a straightforward and fair man who would not waste time haggling when posed a good trade. You drop the coin in his hand, bunch up the black cloak under one arm, and walk away with your head low. You find a quiet alley nearby where you strip off the green cloak and hide it in a pile of rubbish. You then put on the black one. You feel a faint sense of relief under the concealment of the cloak, and so as you rejoin the busy city streets, you do so with an unhurried stride, although you keep your hood down low. Low key, I feel like I'm about to turn to like look at that wizard off to the left over there. Low key, I feel like that's like definitely not suspicious at all. There is a commotion behind you as two guards mount on horses, yelling warning as they gallop along the busy road. The citizens of the city are accustomed to this and know to press their bodies against the buildings in order to avoid being trampled. You do the same. Fortunately, they ride past. After me, perhaps? Gods, I am hunted in my own city. A good thing I am disguised, you think, as you resume down the busy street. Again, you consider trying to escape the city. Outside these walls, you are not known, and there is a whole world in which to hide. But what of Ragnar's murder, you wonder? The bloody runes around Ragnar's body was an infernal, the language of nightmares, worlds. Worlds. You cannot read infernal well, but it appeared to be a spell that harvests power from someone's soul. Neville scat, has Ragnar's soul been crushed before it could pass to the next world? It engaged It enraged you to think that such a fate worse than death, could have befallen such a good man. I will find whoever did this and kill him. Certainly the soul crusher is in the city. We're better a place to harvest souls. As you continue to walk with no practical destination, your mind races to think of how you can track down the killer. The last time you saw Ragnar alive, Clava was with him. It is unfathomable to you that the young Candle daughter could have done such a vile thing herself. However, she may remember something or someone before she left him. The candle shop is nearby, and soon you are and went inside and painted not with words but with pictures of candles. After all, few can read in Ring City, or at least few in the neighborhood. Peering through the window, you see a tall man hunched over a table, pouring something, wax, perhaps? Or you are not sure if it would be wise to go in and simply ask for her. He will want to know your name and business. She may not even be here, in which case it would be better if you did not draw attention to yourself. You doubt the city guards have come to question Kaba yet, but you expect they will get around to it eventually. You decide to chance going around the shop to try to see in. The alley between buildings is extremely narrow, and you have to turn sideways to fit through. There are a few metal barred windows around the sides and back, enough to let in light despite only providing a view of the neighbor's wall. Unfortunately, the windows are too high to see through. You're looking around for something to stand on for a boost when you hear crying. You know that crying. It's the same sob and whine you heard back at the castle in Venus when you found. You sidestepped your wall along the alley a few meters and then listen. Repeatedly, this proceeds until you think you can which window the sobbing is coming from. You are about to call when you hear, "Psst, you, this is not a road. Off with you," an old woman hisses from neighbors. Besides, she's right. This is no place to be skulking around, attracting attention. It's time you talk to Claire. What do you do? Moral increase. You walk into the front door and approach the candleman. Good sir, I humbly request to see Kaiba. The candleman. Oh, after this, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it and end it. After this chapter, the candle maker looks up from his work, his eyebrows raised slightly. I am here, brother Jacob. Who might you be? With a few kisses in the air and an arcane word, you cast charm on him. It would not matter if he knows who you are. Little is remembered by those under enchantments. You pull off your hood and tell him your name. My sister's rescue, he exclaims, dropping his work. He comes over and embraces you warmly. He then thanks you over and over until finally you put up a hand and say, "She is a good woman, and it warms my heart to have aided her. If you please, I am anxious to see how she fares now." "Ah, yes, of course, I believe. I noticed her thin shadow pass me earlier as I toiled. Perhaps she rests in her chamber." He begins walking towards the door. "No, I insist I not disturb your work. Please allow me private counsel with her. I will not be long." He smiles conspicuously. "Yes, yes, I am sure she will receive you warmly. Her chamber is in the end of the hallway. Following the direction you find her door and listen. Kaba is still crying. You knock softly. "Jacob, leave me be." You hear the voice from inside. The door is unlocked and you slip inside. Kaba is sitting on the bed, rocking back and forth. Her hands and arms are soaked in gore. "Gods," you gasp. She looks up at you. "You," she exclaims. "All this blood. Could she be There might be more to this woman than you know. If she did kill, you may be about to die yourself. What do you do?" Alright, guys, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right here. And then after that, I will continue with the story. Alright, guys.